Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into something that's, frankly, a total game changer for anyone using Nielsen. We're talking about direct integration with the massive universe of Python. We're going to show you exactly how this connection can supercharge your work and open up a whole new world of possibilities.
So let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever been deep in a project inside Nelson and just thought, man, I really wish I could just call that one function from pandas? Or, if I could just tap into SciPy for this, it would be done in seconds. I bet you have. We've all been there.
Well, guess what? That little wish is now a full-blown reality. Nielsen has introduced the Python engine, and it's built specifically to bridge that gap. It gives you direct, no-fuss access to the entire Python ecosystem, right from the comfort of your Nielsen environment. So, let's break down why this combination is such a huge deal. It's really about taking the incredible power of Nielsen and merging it with the insane flexibility and breadth of Python. It's the best of both worlds. Okay, let's get into it. Why even do this? Well, for starters, you instantly get access to that legendary Python ecosystem. Think about it. You can pull in complex data with pandas and then immediately use Nielsen's powerful matrix operations on it. Or maybe you want to tap into specialized AI libraries like TensorFlow or PyTorch for a machine learning task. And because Python's syntax is so clean, you can prototype ideas incredibly fast, and the whole thing feels totally seamless inside your existing Nielsen projects. All right, let's get practical. Before you can start using all that power, you've got to set up your environment first. It's super easy, and it's what connects you to that huge world of Python packages. So the very first step is getting packages installed from the Python package index. You probably know it as PyPy. Nielsen gives you a really straightforward command line way to handle this, so you can pull in pretty much any library you'll ever need for your projects. And it really just boils down to 3 super simple steps. First, you use the pyenv function. That just gets you the path to your Python installation. Step 2, you build the command string, literally the same thing you type in a terminal, using that path to call pip install with whatever package you want. And third, you just run that command using Nielsen's built-in system function. And that's it. The package is installed and ready to go. So, with your environment all ready, let's look at the 2 main functions you'll be using to actually run your Python code. They are pyrun and pyrunfile. First up, we've got pyrun. Think of this as your interactive playground. You give it a string of Python code, and boom, it runs it. But here's the key, and this is important. It's persistent. Any variables you create, like importing a library or setting a value, they stick around in the Python workspace for the next time you call pyrun. It's perfect for building things up step by step. Now, on the other hand, there's pyrunfile. And just like the name says, this one runs an entire Python script from a .py file. But here's the crucial difference. Its workspace is temporary. As soon as that script is done, all the variables it created just disappear. This makes it absolutely perfect for running self-contained, clean pieces of code that don't leave anything behind. So choosing between them becomes really, really clear. You're going to use pyrun when you're exploring, maybe debugging, or just building something up piece by piece where you need those variables to stick around. And you'll reach for pyrunfile when you have a complete, reusable script that you just want to execute cleanly without affecting anything else. Okay, so we can run Python code. Awesome. But what about the data? I mean, how do we get information from Nielsen over to Python and then get the results back? This, my friends, is where the real magic of the Python engine happens. The best way to think about it is that Nielsen and Python speak 2 different languages when it comes to data types. A Nielsen struct isn't exactly the same as a Python dictionary. Well, the Python engine acts like a seamless, automatic, universal translator that works in real time between these 2 worlds. And you know what the best part is? You don't have to think about any of this. It's all done for you. When you pass a Nielsen struct, it just shows up in Python as a dict. A Nielsen double becomes a py.float, a logical becomes a py.bool, and on and on. It just works, humming away seamlessly in the background. And this translation magic even extends to operators. So when you use a plus sign on a Python object while you're in Nielsen, the engine is smart enough to know it needs to call Python's own add method. Same thing for multiplication, for equality checks, for comparisons. It all just works. This lets you work with Python objects using the familiar Nielsen syntax you already know, which makes your code feel way more natural and intuitive. Okay, so we've covered the why and the how. We've seen the nuts and bolts. But now comes the most exciting part, thinking about what all of this new power unlocks for you and your work. So here's the main takeaway. You are no longer confined to the tools of just one environment. You've basically just plugged Nelson's high-performance computing capabilities directly into Python's enormous, constantly growing library of tools for data science, AI, web scraping, you name it. Seriously, this integration puts thousands of new functions, new algorithms, and new libraries right at your fingertips. The combined power of both of these incredible communities is now available to you in a single workflow. So, the only question left to ask yourself is, what problem are you going to solve first?